This is primarily to educate people on what to look for when they see women using their female features to get what they want, and how they will treat you after they get what they want. This story takes place in my apartment complex where I live, and the area in which I live has a very high divorce rate. It is said to have a divorce rate of 75% in the entire county, owing to the abundance of wealth. There are many wealthy men who marry trophy wives, and often there isn't much love involved. So when those marriages fail, these ex-wives can clean up, resulting in a very high divorce rate in our country. As a result, women who lived on the hill tend to fall downhill into apartment complexes, and these apartment complexes can have 8 or 9 divorces in a section. I lived in an apartment complex with a lot of divorcees, and I was one of them. This story begins when a group of women moved in on the same floor where I lived. They were moving in and I noticed them because they were tall blonde women, one of whom was very attractive and the other who was okay. And they had an IKEA bookcase and some other large items in a van or SUV. Now I walk past them once, then again, and my children are with me. But I offer assistance to these ladies. They accepted my offer, and I assisted in carrying one of the bookcases by myself. I placed the bookcase outside the door, and they took care of the rest. They asked for my assistance with another item, and I did the same thing, taking it upstairs, and they said thank you and how it ended. I assumed they had moved in, but I didn't pay close attention to the rest of their furniture at the time. These young ladies lived in that apartment for a full year, and whenever I saw them after that, they never said anything to me. To be sure, they never even looked at me. They didn't even look at me. It was as if I didn't exist to them, which I found very disrespectful. But it taught me something. Once they use you, you're done, and they no longer require you. You are nothing to them right now, but if you were, they would go out of their way to destroy you. I was nothing more than a neighbor who helped them out, but they didn't need anything else from me. So what did they do? They did not invite me over for some lemonade. They didn't hit on me. Instead, they pretended I didn't exist. Now that I think about it, they only stayed in this apartment for a year because they had to move out at some point, and unfortunately for them, they moved out while I was still there. Complex, one of the roommates had already left, so the other roommate, I assume, was living by herself for a short period of time, and as we probably could predict, they weren't able to afford to continue living there. They had no one to leech off of. Daddy cut the support. Daddy refused to pay the full amount of rent. So this young lady had to move a couple of times. I happened to come up and down the stairs while she was moving. I saw her struggling with some boxes and some furniture to get it down from the floor where we lived into the SUV. Do you believe I offered any assistance? No way. It is not an insult to women in general. What women must understand is that when they receive things from men, whether tangible items or assistance, there must be a level of respect for men. But what we're seeing is a high level of disrespect, with no intention of acknowledging our existence until it's convenient for them. That has to change. Now I was very pleased with what I had done, and it was unfortunate that she had to move the entire apartment by herself. I didn't see many people helping her, but these things happen all the time and society guilts us into thinking we should always come to the aid of the damsel in distress. We should do that for humanity in general. And until people start doing it for men, I believe that wimpy men should not rush to help blue pill women who are ultimately using them. I've seen this happen in nightclubs where men are ignored by women and not acknowledged until the group decides to take a photo. You're hovering over them like a bee over honey, and they see you standing there gawking at them, and they say, oh look, hey could you take a picture of all of our girls? They come to you with the niceness, they come to you with the shoulders tucked, and they make them so small and sexy. And like a little girl, like a damsel in distress, you're the only one there who can help them. They didn't ask the alpha male wolves in the corner who they're going home with to take a photo of them. They asked the simp, or whoever they think is the simp, to take a photo of them. They will no longer acknowledge you, thank you, and then they will keep it moving and give Chad and Tyrone the rest of their attention and the rest of the night. Don't forget to hit the like button to help spread the word about this video. Thank you for taking your daily dose of red pills. And remember that a red pill a day keeps bad poker hands away. So have a good rest of your day and cheers.